The Enhanced Career Learning Center is a quick and easy way to create a structured learning process for your members and non-members. What we're looking at is a homepage for the Enhanced and Events Career Learning Center. Please note that while I'm logged in as an administrator, the end user, be them members or non-members, have the same view without the administrative functionality, which is highlighted with a blue box. So I'm going to quickly go over the outlay of the page, and then we'll get into some really fun stuff. The page allows you to post a banner here, which allows you to personalize this page for your organization, be able to make it consistent with your organization's branding. We also have a section down here for information about your actual Career Learning Center. We also have 3 content sections. We have a new content section, a featured courses, and featured events. The other important thing to note is that we utilize responsive design. What that means is that I can simply come over here, and responsive design changes the layout and format of the page depending on what device you're viewing it on, whether it be iPhone, a tablet, or a computer. So let's just jump right in here and take a look at how we would structure a course. When I click onto the Courses tab, you'll see that we have 4 courses in the system now that represent content that organizations typically want to associate with a job board. We have content like, is working in a hospital right for you? Career advancements, transitioning to management. We also have things that could be used for corporate or organizational specific content. And then we have a traditional licensing and certification course in here, and we're going to talk a little bit about all of them. The first thing I want to show you, which is the most exciting part, is that this system really allows you the control to put this information in yourself. You no longer need to leverage outside resources, whether those be IT resources or other internal resources, to be able to quickly post this information on your Career Learning Center. So all we need to do would be to click on that Add New Courses button, which is part of the administrative function. And all I would need to do would be to fill out this pop-out with information like name, description, cover photo, what category that this course is ultimately going to be categorized as, new categories I can add, whether I want to show this as the featured item on the home page, any keywords that we want to associate with to make it easy to find in our search area, and then ultimately whether it's active or not. And active just determines whether or not an end user can see it when they log in. A lot of organizations don't finish these courses all at once, and it allows you to work with these things offline. So we're going to drill quickly into one of our existing courses to give you a feel for how they're laid out. What we're seeing on the top are administrative functions, and the information below are the course items, whether they be links, documents, or presentations. Now, the Enhanced Career Learning Center allows you to put in information, sectional information, to add links, documents, and presentations. And the Event CLC also adds assessment and certification, as well as the Events module, which we'll talk about shortly. So let's take a quick peek at what it takes to put a presentation in the system. By simply clicking on the presentation, it gives me the option to upload slides, video, or slides and video, and allow us to sync those. We have information about name and description, information about the date that it was presented. Access allows us to determine whether or not somebody has to log into the system to be able to access this course. And then, of course, we also have keywords and activities, and whether we want to make it active. So now let's take a moment to take a look at what it looks like from a user's perspective. When I click into this video course that we have set up, you can see that it houses all the information into an easy-to-consume package or format. We have the ability to run our video, adjust the volume, or make this a complete screen. We also have complete control over the overview information, what we want to include in the description, any contributors to this content, and as an administrator, I have the ability to go in and add an additional contributor or create a brand new contributor. The other thing that we can do with this course is we can also link other resources to it. We have the ability to add notes, links, and attachments, and simply just clicking on these buttons will create a pop-up that will allow you to easily upload that information. So let's take another step back. The links and documents and sections really follow the same logical process as the presentations do. So to recap, when we talk about the enhanced CLC, what we're talking about is the ability to create a learning course that involves sections, links, documents, and presentations. Now, when we start talking about events, our event CLC, we add the assessment and the certification component, as well as the events tab, which we'll go through shortly. Creating an assessment is incredibly simple. What it allows us to do is define that assessment, to assign credit types and values to those, determine what is a passing score, who would be notified within my organization, the number of times that user can ultimately retake it, whether they have to log in, and then whether or not it's client-facing. So let's take a quick peek at a certification test that I already have in the system. We're going to start by looking at it from an administrative view. So from an administrative view, it's a very simple layout, and it really allows you to build these tests very, very quickly. I can create additional pages and additional questions. By adding the questions, all I need to do is add the question, be able to put the text in here, determine what kind of question it is, whether it would be a multiple choice rating scale. Down below, I get the ability to put the possible answers, and by simply highlighting that, I can determine which are the correct answers. So we're going to take a look at what it looks like from a user's perspective. Now, please remember, it's got the same look and feel. The difference is that they don't get access to anything here in this dashed blue box. So if I were an end user and I was taking this assessment, I can go through and start answering the questions. And what you'll notice here at the top is they have a progress bar, so it will allow you to easily see where you are within the test. And let's just go through and test it and go through the test and show you some of the things that you would see after you processed it. We would go to the end page. It would allow us to either go back and change any questions or submit those answers. If I go to submit those answers, the system automatically determines whether I've passed or failed that certification test. It provides me with a score. It also lists the questions that I got correct and the questions that I got wrong. All the questions that you get wrong will be displayed below so that you can spend a little time researching them and understand why you answered those questions incorrectly. So now you can see that I've passed this certification test. The real prize at the end of the road is the ability to get that certificate. So we're going to show you a bit on how that certificate function works. Creating a certificate is very easy. I would just come over here and create that certificate. The certificate generator allows you to upload your specific logo and branding. also with the ability to create the certification title and description. We also can come down here and determine which items or elements of this course are a part of this ultimate certification. By highlighting these, we can then attach them to the certification, and we can also determine what credits are assigned to that. That is really what you'll get with the events CLC or events solution. So to recap, your enhanced CLC or Career Learning Center allows you to upload section material, links, documents, and presentations. And the events allow you to do sections, links, documents, presentations, assessments, and certifications. It also allows you to have access to the events module. The events module, in essence, is set up very similar to the courses. It actually allows you to go through the same logic in putting the information into the system, but the difference is that when you go into an event is actually categorized by the date or by specific educational tracks. So a lot of organizations use this for their national conventions. They may have video presentations. They want to make that information available to people maybe who are a non-member so that they can see the value of becoming a member. And we may want to categorize that by the year that it happened or a particular educational track. And that's what you're going to be allowed to do with the events module. So in essence, that is sort of a 10,000-foot overview of the demonstration of what you get with the Enhanced Career Learning Center as well as the Events Learning Center.